Okay, so this is an idea that came to my mind when we were discussing Rob Doster and his UConn comparison. He basically was saying Purdue this year has a chance to be the most similar team to 2024 UConn that we've seen. And we have a video up on the channel about that where we go in depth on it. But this just sounds fun. I kind of want to go through all of the teams we really care about this year in college basketball and try to come up with any historical college basketball team that we think profile wise is most similar to them. No rules. We can go a year ago. We could go 10 years ago. But let's just go through all of the rosters we care about and try and find one we think it reminds us of.
Let's do it.
Okay. You pick who we start with.
Can we start with Purdue's roster?
2025 Purdue. And you're not allowed to do comparison to a team in the same program. So we
In the
can't
set.
compare 25 Purdue to 23 Purdue.
Got it. Okay, so just talking points here. Elite point guard, National Player of the Year level player
Think you got to have two All-Americans. That's where I would start if we're looking for an identity similar to Purdue. Have two guys that are All-Americans at once.
with a good culture, good system. Did any of those Villanova teams have two All-Americans at once?
They might have. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Because
But
I'm
that's
thinking
a little
like,
different position too. I'm kind of after like an All-American guard, All-American big man. What can we do with that?
I mean, we could steal the Douster, but I don't really want to do that.
Oh, I got a different one.
All-American. Are you thinking a Duke team by any chance?
Thinking a UNC team.
Which team?
Now it falls apart when you get outside of the Big Two, but you don't see any actually maybe we could go back further and do a different one. Yeah, I'm gonna change. I was gonna do Hansbrough Lawson, and
Ooh,
that's TKR Braden. And they brought a lot back, and it was this big expectation year. But you lose me when it's like we had Wayne Ellington, Danny Green in between them. They don't have those guys at Purdue.
mhm.
What about the first UNC title team? Raymond Felton and Sean May, and they had Rashad McCants as like a big three. Fletcher's kind of the big three guy, and then they had some unknowns around him.
Oh, I think I like that. I was trying to think of like those Kansas teams that won it all, but I don't think that would necessarily work because I don't even know that team had maybe one All American. It didn't positionally fit. I like that as far as it goes positionally.
But it's also it's got to be a team who was like all offense with some defensive questions too, right? Which I get that North Carolina team was pretty good defensively, top five in the country,
It's a
and
very
they just
weird,
had like Marvin Williams at the four.
it's a very weird profile fit for this Purdue team.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if is there any like really offensive heavy team that had two stars that we're trying to think of, like
Would any of those UConn teams work? Like the older UConn teams.
Ben Gordon and Mecca. They got to have a studly point guard though, right? That's kind of the whole
I was
thing.
thinking guard like Ben Gordon,
Yeah, I don't. There's got to be like a National Player of the Year level point guard, I think, to make this work.
Kemba.
Wait a second. Wait a second. We might get shit if we use this comp. Are we sure it's not just Cassius Winston and Xavier Tillman with a bunch of role players around him that were pretty good?
Matt
Cassius is the
McQuaid,
most similar player to Braden.
Matt McQuaid is Fletch.
Matt McQuaid is Fletch.
Got a good rebounding big.
I think it might be that team. And then you had like, yeah, like Aaron Henry in the middle emerging.
Honestly that's a really good comp.
We're going to go with that answer.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
2025 Purdue is most similar to 2019 Michigan State, the team that made the Final Four and beat Zion and RJ, built around Cassius Winston, the best point guard in the country, and Xavier Tillman, one of the best bigs in the country.
What a time.
Top five offense, top 10 defense that year for Michigan State. Okay, who's next?
Can we do your team?
Sure.
All right. Michigan. Last year's Kansas State team. No, I'm kidding.
I think it has to be a team with a lot of moving parts for sure.
A lot of moving parts. Really good front court. Bonus big money player.
Yep. So yeah, and like maybe some like a lot of depth at the guard spots, but questions. So basically, great front court, volatility, high money star. And we're kind of only looking in the portal era, right? It's hard to go much further back and find a team with as much turnover.
It's funny because you brought up yesterday when we were doing the points per game discussion on how similar the guard play could play out between this and Dusty May's Florida Atlantic teams.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that though, because there's no John L. You got to have
Yeah,
like the star no-brainer guard, I think.
right. Well, I mean, Yaxel would be the John L.
Trying to think, what are like, forget the rest of it, but what are just front courts that come to mind that would pair well with this? It's got to be like a, I don't know, like there's been some front courts with like a lot of killers at once in them.
Yeah, I just like the level of killers, like what it would be
What about that? Wasn't like Walker Kessler the third big off the bench at one point?
for UNC.
Yeah, but that team wasn't all that good, were
I don't
they?
think that team was that good though.
Is that the team that went 14 and 19?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
No, that was after that. Hold on, I'm gonna find this.
I'm trying to think right now what team this could possibly be. I mean, you've had like front courts like UNC where they had two killers in the front court.
I gotta find this Walker Kessler team.
What about those? What about those UNC teams with Bryce Johnson?
I'm listening.
I gotta make sure I check who else is on that team though. That's the only thing. I don't know if it'll because I don't know who's the front court pairing with Bryce Johnson. That's the only thing. I think it was like Joel. I don't think it was anybody good.
I mean, okay, I went down the Walker Kessler path. So that year, North Carolina finished 34th on Ken Palm. It was one of, if not Roy Williams last year, I think it might have been his last year. Walker Kessler, Garrison Brooks, and Armando Bacot and Dayron Sharp all in the front court. So it was loaded, and you kind of had to pick and choose guys. Ended up in a transfer because someone was unhappy. And at the guard spots, you had freshman Caleb Love, freshman RJ Davis, freshman Kerwin Walton, junior Leaky Black, and then like Anthony Harrison, Andrew Platek off the bench. So I don't love that for the guards, but like a volatile point guard. Caleb Love and Nelly Cadeau kind of I don't hate, but I don't know. I think Michigan's a hard one to find an archetype for because I don't think Michigan's going to be as bad as that UNC team was, but hard for me to come up with a better team than that I think mimics it.
So I'm trying to think. I'm thinking 2013 UNC.
Who was
That was
that?
like James Michael McAdoo, Bryce Johnson. I think like Isaiah Hicks was on that team, who was a solid player. I'm trying with the guard players. I think Kennedy Meeks was on that team, so they did have some good
Marcus
front court
Page,
players.
a really assist focused point guard.
That might be it, man.
Reggie Bullock, veteran.
Was Reggie Bullock on that team?
PJ Hairston. Okay, I'm okay with that. That team cart went 25 and 11, 32nd overall in Ken Palm, and lost in the round of 32.
I think that might be it.
Yeah, okay. I'm good with that. Let's call it 2013 North Carolina. Okay. Who's next? This is taking a long time, so let's just do five today and maybe we can do more tomorrow.
Okay, what about Kentucky?
Woo!
Oh no.
What comes to mind first when you're trying to make an identity for this team?
Star wing player, older. My mind immediately went to possibly one of those Kansas teams that won it all. You have like Ochai, young Christian Brown. Was Christian Brown on that championship team? I think he was. Maybe a freshman on that team or
Yeah.
sophomore. Bigs, there were questions in the front court, but also like Jaden Quaidness is pretty talented as well in the front court. So it feels weird to be like a David McCormick is the comp for that one. What
Yeah, but
other?
I mean, I don't hate that because Ortega is very like Agbaji-y.
Yeah, like that alone.
Who's the Jalen Wilson though? They had two killers on the wing, and that's
They did.
where like I feel like Kentucky has one.
Can't be Aberdeen. Can it be?
I mean, I guess it could be. They did
Well,
have,
but
wasn't Dewan Harris like a freshman?
on that team though with Ochai, wasn't Jalen a little bit more like I don't think he was like the killer that he became like first team All American the next year, but he
Yeah.
wasn't like he was more of a role-ish player.
Yeah, I hear that. All right, so we want to go 2022 Kansas, aka the national champions that year.
Yes,
That's Kentucky's comp. Okay. Can we do a fun one? I'm gonna demand on one team here.
please.
Louisville.
Um, the I mean,
Say
e-
it.
elite guard play,
Three of them at once.
three of them at once. 2005 Illinois.
This front court is pretty James Augustine-y.
Yeah, I think that's the comp.
All right. 2006 Louisville, 2005 Illinois. Shades of. That's what we can
Hey,
call it. And we need one more. Who do you want to do last?
should we just do Illinois since we just brought them up?
Sure.
I'm thinking 2013 Mega Basket.
That's a great bit.
I mean, it's funny because when we compare this team, it could just be like a bunch of the old Gonzaga teams that were just very just international heavy. Honestly, this is the Peter Karnowski, Nigel Williams, Goss team.
It's not. There's a team that this is more like.
Who
I've made the comp before. I need to fully flesh it out. Let me make sure I get the right year here.
flesh me,
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
flesh me immediately.
Hold on. Hold on. Um, so it all starts with this. The most similar player comparison for Tomislav Visic, if Tom is good this year, is Hunter Dickinson.
Ooh,
So I think we are looking for a team that was built around Hunter Dickinson that brought in a really old point guard to pair with him, had a quote unquote superstar wing in Andrei Stojakovic, had a veteran two guard that you were just supposed to trust to lead and defend and hit shots, and had some other upside shots in the front court at the four. And I think I have that team.
this isn't like the team with Jalen Llewellyn, is it?
I think it's the 2022 Michigan team the year before that. Went to a Sweet 16. This was not when Jawan had fully downfallen yet, but they were 19 and 15. They brought in Devontae Jones, who was like 22 to start a point. Eli Brooks is basically their Kylan. Andrei Stojakovic, star that they need on the wing, is basically like Caleb Houston's got to carry us in scoring. And then Hunter is Tom. And then you had a bunch of rotating guys at the four between Terrence Williams and Musa and Brandon Johns. And that's what Illinois is kind of working through right now.
That's a pretty spot on comp, to be honest with you.
I've always thought of this as just Hunter reincarnated. So, I mean, that is a positive, by the way. If he's Hunter Dickinson, that's a good outcome for him.
Yeah,
But
that's first team All Big Ten.
all right, there we have it. Shades of. That was a fun game.
It's
I think we do that again soon.
please.